This is the Carabc DM601. This is a 6-inch Android Auto or Apple CarPlay navigation device, which you can use off-road because it has a rating of IP68, which means technically I can just drop it in water and it should survive. This video is sponsored by Carabc. They provided me this item for free so I can play around with it, test it out, install it on my bike, as you will see in a little bit. Let's start with unpacking the device. When you open a box, so there's the special statement in the box. You get this tiny paper and it states, do not update the system arbitrarily. Do not rinse the machine with a high pressure water gun. And then before using the product, peel off the protective film. Let's go over this unboxing of the motorcycle smart riding system. Packaging is actually very nice. This is the screen. Again, it's a 6-inch screen and it is 1000 nits. That's it. Let's start with the things we can see. Here we have one of the cameras. This is the, is it labeled? This is the back camera. So there are labels that mention where the camera is supposed to be put, in the front or in the back. And you can use some double-sided tape or you can screw them down. So that is nice. A part of the mount. Nuts and bolts. And this is for your handlebar. And we have the power here. And some other stuff. Okay, so this is something that I like. This is like a cradle that you put the device in. Power cable which is labeled. There's also a GPS device. This will record your GPS locations when you are recording the video from the cameras. This is your ball mount. We have more mounting hardware. This is for a rally tower. I'm in my shed. We're gonna go and install the device onto my bike. Already removed the seat. So the cables is very simple. The yellow wire is switched. The black wire is of course on the battery minus. Red wire battery plus. This installation is also going to be requiring some tools. It will depend on your bike. Start on the battery, then we're going to go connect the docking station, and then we're going to go connect the cameras. Okay, so let's start with disconnecting the plus, disconnecting the minus. So we're going to start with the plus. The yellow one needs to be switched, so I'm just going to simply connect it to the switched power for my USB, and that should make sure that the device turns on the moment I flip the switch. Okay, so I have routed the power cable to the front. To attach the cradle you need the longer screws, and there you have it. So now we have these pins, and then we have the device here, we have the back camera, we have the power cable. So let's connect the power cable and let's see if it at least works. Then we have power, and mainly switched power. Easy enough to just click it on. So you have these two indentations. They need to go to the top, because if you look at the screen it's just pure black nothingness. Click it on. There we go. Let's see that. So if I flip the switch, my bike turns on. And there we have Carabc. Doo-doo-doo. Cool. Now let's connect the cameras. We find the wire with the front camera and we connect it. So these are waterproof, which is very nice, and they're metal, so they do feel quite premium. There is also a GPS, which I will put right here. So you just need to remove the tape, stick it on like so. Let's go to the back side of the bike. And I need to come up with something. I think I'm just gonna put it like this. Bend this one down for now and just have it like this. Okay, so let's go connect my phone to the car ABC. First thing I recommend doing is going to the setting and swap it to whatever preferred thing you want. So you have Apple CarPlay, you have something specifically made for China. It's called High Car mode, Android Auto mode, and here we have Car Life mode, which is Huawei, and of course it's standard on Apple mode in this case. So let's switch, and now we can connect our Android phone. So if we move back to our Android phone, we go to Bluetooth, pair a new device. So you can find your new device is the D621 BD5B00, which should be the same as you have here on your screen. It is now connected and it will automatically switch to Android Auto. So I have the cameras, and here you can see the camera on the front and the one on the back. So if I switch around, you can see the camera on the back and on the front. That works all nice and dandy. If you get this message, that means you need to put a SD card in it. If you want to rotate your cameras, in the housing itself, where the camera is basically mounted to your bike, you just need to rotate it in the mount. It's a bit tricky, so just put a little bit of pressure on it and it should rotate. That's what worked for me, because my cameras were upside down basically. So on this screen, which is your main screen if you don't use the actual phone, you can see your tire pressure, but I don't have a tire pressure connected because I didn't receive those. So at the bottom you can see some generic info about how fast you went, of how many kilometers you've driven, and how long you have been driven. This is time when the sun sets. But yeah, let's get out of the swamp and let's go for a ride and see how it works for the upcoming few days. Yeah, that should be interesting. So far, even though it was underwater, it still works, which is very nice. That is a problem with the car ABC. The moment I start my bike, it turns off and it doesn't do anything anymore. So what I need to do now is disconnect it and connect it again. And now it starts up again. There we go. It has started up. It's now connected to my phone again. And if I now start my bike again, it's fine. Turn off the bike. Start the bike and it turns off. But this is a pre-production model. It has the issue when I start my bike, it turns off. You can see in the footage the moment I start my bike, the device turns off, and more often than not, the screen won't turn back on. Now I can fix it by basically detaching the screen, putting it back on, and then it will start again and everything's fine. And when it's fine, when it's working, it's great. It's a 6-inch model, which is, in my opinion, one of the better sizes you can have. But this specific model, or the version that I got, which is a pre-production model, it doesn't work. Not as you would like it to work. When it comes to the GPS functionality, which I also had some issues, I've had a few times where it doesn't find any satellites, which of course can happen, but it's frustrating. It doesn't show the kilometers when you don't have your phone connected, for example. So that is a bit finicky. I did a factory reset and now the GPS is working again, so I'm sort of just waiting when it just stops working. Like I said, I like the device when it works, but it doesn't always work, which is frustrating. Now, I did talk to them. I gave them all the information that all my findings, and they said they're working on it. And the next batch, which is going to be production batch, should be the startup sequence should be fixed. So I can't comment on it. I'm positive about the device when it works. I just think it's very a shame that I have a unit that does not fully work. If you would buy a device like this, then I would recommend going for the one without the cameras, because the camera quality is subpar in my opinion. The license plates of cars are hardly readable, and if I go off-road, I have to clean the cameras every time. So it's a nice feature for a road bike, and it is usable. TPMS sensors, haven't been able to use them because I didn't get them, so I can't comment on it. When it comes to Android Auto, it works fine. You can navigate, you can use your favorite available apps that are on CarPlay and Android Auto. Calling feature works fine. You can call a person, you see it on screen. So Car ABC, you have a great product here, and the price is not too bad, but fix your stuff, because it's very sad, because the device is nice. The docking station for the device is nice and sturdy. I've used it, well, actually quite a bit. I also went off-road. I threw it in the water. It's not something I'm really careful with, because, well, of course I need to test it. Also, one of the issues was the box. On the box it says IP69, which means you can use a pressure washer. But of course, when you open the box, it states you can't use it. On the website, it states IP68. So IP68 is still is the numbers I went with and tested this. That's why I threw it in the water, for example. So a few things that I will say about what this device has. You do have the option to manually adjust the brightness, but it doesn't automatically adjust. So you can change that on the main screen when your phone's not connected yet. The screen brightness itself is 1000 nits. Like a lot of competitors, they sort of cap out at 1000 nits when it comes to these type of devices, and I would love to see one that has 1500 nits. Boot up time is not bad. Takes a little bit to for your Android phone to switch to Android Auto. iPhone, I don't know. I don't have one, so I can't really test it. If the GPS works and it doesn't bug out, it actually properly shows how much kilometers you're going, and it updates very quickly, which is nice. That's all I want to say about the specs, because the majority of the specs I review based on how I use the device, not on what's on the website. And I think that's, for me, the most important. If you have any questions about it, I can answer them for you. But in general, I think if I look at myself before I started reviewing these things, I want to know, does it work? Is it fast? Which also depends on your phone. So if you have a very slow phone, this device is going to be slow. Is it stable? Can it handle water? And that's basically it. The applications available on a device like this depends on Android Auto, so it's not the device's fault if it doesn't support a specific feature, at least not all the time. I would also love to see an internal battery in one of these. So my two things would be to improve a device like this, add an internal battery, and make the screen around 1500 nits or higher, preferably. And the bezels, make the bezels smaller. Yeah, that's about it. If you like this content, please subscribe, leave a like, comment in the comment section, let me know what you think. I have an affiliate link, it's also in the description. You can use my code SPEAKER, and you can use the affiliate link if you want to buy this specific device. I would recommend going for the cheapest option, because even the GPS module that has failed me twice now, it's not worth it. If you just purely do it for navigation, what I would use it for, cheapest option.